متواصلون معكم في آخر لقاءات هذا اليوم الخاصة باللقاءات على أو الخاصة باللقاءات في مؤتمر تقويم التعليم العام بالمملكة العربية السعودية، حيث سنكون وإياكم مع الدكتور ديريك هاستيد حول التعليم مدى الحياة. الدكتور ديريك هو يعمل مديرا تنفيذيا للجمعية الدولية للتحصيل التربوي IEA في أمستردام، والحاصل على درجة الدكتوراه في التربية، ويعمل مديرا مشاركا لمركز معالجة البيانات والبحث في IEA في هامبورغ بألمانيا، وباحثا أول في مركز معالجة البيانات والبحث أيضا في ذات المركز. سيكون حديث الدكتور حول التعلم مدى الحياة.
Sure. Oh, mind you. سيدتي سادتي صباح الخير. I would like to thank you for this opportunity to present here. I think it's a wonderful conference that you're hosting here, which enables us to exchange a lot of ideas. So thanks for inviting me here. And I was asked to give a presentation. Oh, it's not there? About lifelong learning. Lifelong learning is a very wide field. So when I was asked to give a presentation on that, I was thinking about how much are our students prepared for lifelong learning. Lifelong learning has a lot of aspects, but what I saw is more and more increasingly coming into place is technology. So we have mobile banking tools, email access, we have social media. So all the work is more and more computer-based. So that's important for employability, but it's also important for learning. We see that also in schools. Students are asked more and more to search information on the web. Students are required to give PowerPoint presentations. And the same is true for their later lives. So also there, the opportunities for later life and learning in later life depends on your computer literacy skills. So I would like to focus on that and how we address this issue around the world in schools. Are we preparing our students? Are they really prepared for this digital life and for lifelong learning? The IA undertook a study on computer literacy skills, and I'd like to report some of the results here because I think they're very relevant also for this aspect. Let me first give a brief introduction to IEA for those of you who don't know IEA yet. IEA is a non-governmental research organization. It's independent and it's founded in 1958 and has done more than 30 research studies across that time. We have more than 60 member countries and more than 100 countries participating in our studies. These are some of the current studies that we have. The most famous ones are TIMSS and PEARLS. TIMSS assesses math and science knowledge at grade 4, 8, and 12. And it's done since 1995, every 4 years. And of course, probably most of you know it because also Saudi Arabia is participating in that now for the third cycle. Also PEARLS is assessing the reading skills of students, and also Saudi Arabia is participating here. And is assessing the fourth, at the end of grade 4, so at the end of primary grades, the reading skills of students. We also have study on civic and citizenship education, on early childhood education, and the one that I'd like to give you some information on today is the International Computer Information Literacy Study. In ICILS, how we call it, we have 21 countries participating in the study with 3,300 schools, 35,000 teachers responded to a questionnaire, and we have information from 60,000 students around the world, and you can see the countries that are participated in that study. So we first defined what we want to measure. So we defined computer and information literacy, as you can see here, as an individual's ability to use computers to investigate, create, and communicate in order to participate effectively at home, at school, in the workplace, and in the community. So for this, we developed two different strands. One is collecting and managing information, so it's a receptive part of that. And the second one, and I think this is quite innovative, it's about producing and exchanging information, so that you use, for example, PowerPoint or the web to get information somewhere. And this study is, in that respect, the first study that's doing this. And beyond these two strands, we have different aspects that we were measuring. So we had smaller questions and tasks for the students, and then we also had 20-minute modules for students where they have to use computer as they normally do or are required in later life with different tasks. So one was an after-school exercise where the students had to prepare a poster. One is a band competition task where they had to create a website. We also had a module about breathing where students should create a presentation for younger students about breathing. And for this, for example, it's an interesting one. We gave the students information that was adequate for their age group. It was students at grade 8. And they had to prepare a presentation for younger students in grade 4. So they couldn't just copy and paste, but they really had to use the information and transfer it to something else. And then there was a school trip where they had to create an information sheet. So we were able to find different levels of abilities in that study. So the first basic level was about demonstrate familiarity with the basic range of software commands, recognize potential of misuse of computers, and that's also, I think, a very important aspect in today's life. Then, if they were able to search for and locate information and plan and use information more thoroughly, they went up to level 2, which is complete basic and explicit information, gathering and managing tasks, simple information products. And in that way, we were able to define 4 different ability levels of students with the task, and that we are measuring with our assessment. So, everyone, or a lot of people say that we have digital natives, so our students know how to maneuver and to work in a digital environment. And we don't have to teach it to them, but they already know all of that. But is that really true? So I'll give you an example of an easy item that was characterized as an easy item. And in this easy item, the students were just asked, here's an email, who else got this email? I think a very straightforward and probably very simple task. And you can see this was in the sender address. And the result is that on average, in all of these countries, about 70% of the students were able to do this item correctly, 70%. Which means, on the other hand, that 30% of the students were not even able to solve this relatively simple item correctly, which at least scared us. A more difficult item on the highest level was an item where we showed them an email and asked them, this email tries to trick you. So it tries to make you sending your private information to us. Scam mails, I think that we're all familiar with. And this was found as a very difficult item to find the indication, why is this a scam mail? How can I identify it? And this is something that I think that's very important. It's internet security. And we found that overall, it's only about 10% of the students who manage to answer an item like this correctly. So with these results, we saw that it's not really simple. And as I said, we had these more complex tasks. In these complex tasks, we asked the students, for example, to create some posters to advertise after school exercises. And what you can see here are actual results from students that participated in that study. And I must say, one thing that's also very important is that these assessments are not only a burden, but the feedback we got also from students is that they really found it's fun. It was engaging. They liked it. Assessments not necessarily need to be something boring and that's something that's imposed on you, but it can be also something that students like. And especially with computer environment, I think there's a huge potential also for having students liking this kind of task. So overall, we found different proficiency levels. And what you could see in all of these countries, it was at maximum 5%. And again in Korea, we mentioned this country, I think, a couple of times already during this conference, where 5% of the students were reaching the highest level. But you can see that in a lot of countries, a lot of students, and that's the blue bars, were not even able to reach the minimum or basic level of that. And even the lowest level was achieved only by not so many students around the world. So I think that that's information that we got from that study. But we wanted to look further beyond that. So what else can we see? For example, there's the myth that computers are a boys' domain and they are doing much better when it comes to working with computers. Actually, that's not what we found. In all but one country, the girls scored statistically significantly higher than the boys. There are some other myths. For example, if you equip the schools with computers, this will automatically lead to innovative and modern teaching styles. So podcasts, applications, wikis, all of this will be used. And I think that's something that also some of the hardware and software industry tries to tell us. Just put this into the schools and you have very new modern teaching. Actually, also this is not what we found. What we found is, and these are responses from the teachers, that most of them used the software just for word processing and presentation software, like I'm doing now. 20 years ago, I would have had my slides here. Now I'm using PowerPoint. It's not very innovative. Maybe it's nice, but I think that's all. So that's all what we see here. But what we see down there is, for example, the simulation and modeling software, this fancy new things, that's used by only 3% of the teachers. And it's not the availability that takes them away from that. We asked also the technical coordinators and the principals, and we got the response that in 80% of the schools across all these countries, this software is available. So it's not that it's not there, but only 3% of the teachers are making use of that. Most uses is really the word processing, the library, it's using it like a library or like PowerPoints or something like that. But the fancy one is not really in the schools yet, although a lot of countries have made obviously huge investments. We also saw that there is quite a diversity in how much computers are used in schools. But it's striking that there's even more differences in learning ICT in school. So we see in a lot of cases that students are required in schools, as in later life, to use this technology in schools. They have to do PowerPoints, but they are not taught how to use it. It's just you have to do it. And we think you're digital native, you will be able to cope. And there's a clear mismatch between what we are teaching and what we require students to be capable of. So, are we creating a digital divide if we ask and require students to have this knowledge and abilities and we are not teaching it to them? Well, we saw this is regression coefficients of students learning ICT and the ICT schools. And we see a lot of examples where countries quite successfully teach ICT skills in schools. So, why is it not done more often? And when we're looking into that, we found that on the most right-hand side you see lack of ICT resource at school, and you see this is no impact on if the ICT is used in school. What makes a difference, and I think that's what we heard also before, it's teachers collaborate on ICT use. That makes a difference. Teachers' positive views on ICT use. And the most prominent one was teachers' ICT self-efficacy. So, do they feel confident in using and teaching with computers in a digital environment? And what we see here is that this has the most impact. So this is obviously the highest obstacle for teaching ICT skills in school, also to a certain amount of learning them in school. And when we look at the age of the teachers in different age groups, we found that especially the teacher at the age of 40 and above don't feel confident in using ICT in their teaching. So, with that, maybe one focus could be, and we already talked about teacher training. Teacher training focusing also especially on more experienced teachers to help them to develop more positive attitudes towards ICT use in schools and make them cooperating in using ICT schools. If we do that, we might enhance the usage and teaching of ICT in schools, which I strongly believe is a huge driver also for lifelong learning, since everything is more and more digitalized. So we just launched a new cycle for ICILS where we will investigate this more in depth. And I personally would be happy to see also Saudi Arabia data here and see how Saudi Arabia is doing in that perspective and what is the relationship between students, achievement, and teachers and schools also in this country. So with that, I thank you for your attention. I try to be pretty brief. I was told most of you are probably already hungry and waiting for lunch, so I try to be very brief. And shukran, thank you for your attention.
شكرا للدكتور ديريك هاستيد على هذه المحاضرة حول التعلم مدى الحياة. ونأخذ فرصة للأسئلة لدى الإخوة والأخوات. نبدأ بسؤال لدى الإخوة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نشكر البروفيسور على ما قدمه. محمد يوسف من جامعة أم القرى. نحن نعلم أن التعليم الحديث أصبح تعليما إلكترونيا كواقع يعني جزء أساسي من التعليم بكافة مراحله، بل على العكس فإن استخدام التكنولوجيا أصبح يضفي في العملية التعليمية ويساهم في تحسين الأداء التعليمي، وبالتالي لا بد من أن يكون هنالك دمج حقيقي بحيث يكون استخدام أدوات التكنولوجيا ICT tools يحدث إضافة إلى العملية التعليمية. فإذا ما في added value، وبالتالي يجب أن يتم دمج استراتيجية التدريس باستخدام أدوات التكنولوجيا وتوظف في المنهاج توظيفا حقيقيا، وهو ما جاء عليه يعني الجزئية الأولى التي تفضل فيها الدكتور حول التوظيف واستخدام يعني التوظيف في الحياة بالنسبة للخلق المهنة والمهنة. فنحن نعلم أن هنالك استراتيجيات تدريس الحديثية كلها تركز على دمج التعليم وربطه بالحياة، وبالتالي هنالك استراتيجية تدريس مفردة اسمها التعلم بالمشاريع. هذا تعقيبا على الورقة السابقة.
شكرا.
وشكرا لكم.
شكرا.
Okay. Thank you. I think you're absolutely right. And what I think is that technology definitely can enhance teaching, and that these skills are very important. As you also might have seen, I didn't focus on any rankings because what we saw is that the results are pretty similar for all of these countries, to a slightly varying degree, but the problems that we uncovered with this international assessment are very similar. So I think there's quite something to do for all of the countries to improve the situation. And I hope that with this study and the information, we can draw some of the attention to some of the problems that exist around the world in education when it comes to using computer literacy.
Thank you. سؤال لدى الأخوات.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام.
أهلا بك دكتور ديريك بأراضي المملكة العربية السعودية. شكرا جزيلا لك على تلبية الدعوة. فهناك سؤال بالنسبة للطلاب الذين يواجهون صعوبات أكاديمية أثناء سير العملية التعليمية، ماذا تستطيع أن تقدم لهم أو كيف نستطيع أن نقدم لهم من خدمات لتجاوز هذه الصعوبات، سواء كانت صعوبات أكاديمية أو صعوبات في الحواسيب والكمبيوتر؟ شكرا دكتور.
شكرا.
Thank you, and thank you also for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to see this wonderful country. I think especially for children with learning disabilities, for children also with maybe motivational problems, I think computers can be seen as one of the measures that might help also getting these students on track and help them in the learning. As I said, what we found also is that the students found this kind of task that they had to do very interesting and very engaging. So they really liked it. So it really increased also their willingness and their motivation on working in this area. So I think in general, I think computers can play a good role in enhancing teaching also to students with disabilities, learning problems, motivational problems. So I think it might not be the only key, and this solves all, but I think it can help also to advance this.
Thank you. سؤال لدى الإخوة.
السلام عليكم. دكتور أنور اللمع من مدارس التربية النموذجية تابعة للشركة الوطنية للتربية والتعليم. دكتورة قياس وتقويم. الآن في عندنا شريحة كبيرة من المعلمين في قطاع التعليم الأهلي أو قطاع التعليم الحكومي هم من كبار السن، والمعلم كبير السن يقاوم التعليم ويقاوم التكنولوجيا ويقاوم التغيير بشكل عام. فالسؤال باختصار، يعني هل تنصح ببقاء هذه الشريحة من المعلمين في سلك التربية والتعليم أم استبدالهم بعناصر شابة من المعلمين تواكب التطورات الحديثة والتقنية الحديثة في تقدم العملية التعليمية التعلمية؟
شكرا.
وشكرا.
Thank you. I think what's important here is that also using and teaching of ICT skills also for teachers can be learned. I think we should first convince all teachers, and I think it's not only a question of generation, but to show them the advantages that using modern technology can have. So I think we should rather try to convince them and show the advantages, and then if they are convinced to use it, I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to help them also to using them. As we've seen, the most obstacle is that sometimes teachers think, oh, the students know already more about this than I do, so I don't need to teach it, and I'm scared of teaching it because they know more than I do in this area. But this is not true. Students need to learn this. They are not digital natives as we think. Maybe they can play their games, but how to find reliable information on the internet and how to create a good presentation, that's not the skills that they come with to schools. And I'm pretty confident that all teachers can do that better and help their students in advancing that. And I think this is something that we should do. So I think it's a task, but I think it's worth to meet this challenge.
Thank you. سؤال من الأخوات. فضلا أن يكون السؤال بشكل مختصر وواضح.
Excuse me, I do appreciate your speech, Dr. Dierk. I'm Amal Sali from Shagra University. One question that I'm wondering about. You know that there is a major called CALL, which means computer-assisted language learning. What do you suggest? Is to give it to students as a course to be studied, or take them into practice using technology through duties instead of giving them as a course? So we are behind, learn it or train them with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a very good question. I think you always need to see where are your students and what's the best method of teaching to them. I don't think there is a general one-fits-all solution, but I think you really should make your experience and see what helps. And I think that's also, that what makes a good teacher. I think a good teacher adapts the methods also to the student and to the student's needs. I don't think there's one-fits-all method, not in learning, not in teaching. So I think it's very important to look and address the correct and the best teaching method to the different students. So I don't think I have a general solution and an answer to that question other than it really depends on the situation of teaching and learning.
شكرا للدكتور ديريك هاستيد، وشكرا لكم أنتم على طيب استماعكم وحضوركم لهذه المحاضرة. فيما يلي نبقى وياكم أخيرا مع التوصيات الخاصة بمؤتمر تقويم التعليم العام بالمملكة العربية السعودية، لتكون خاتمة لهذه اللقاءات والندوات الخاصة، ويستكمل بعدها بإذن الله تعالى آخر الورش لدينا هذا اليوم. نبقى وإياكم مع المهندس أحمد اليعقوب من هيئة تقويم التعليم العام بالمملكة ليستعرض توصيات هذا المؤتمر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. فيما يلي توصيات مؤتمر التعليم: أولاً، تبني نموذج التقويم ليراعي طبيعة النظام التعليمي في كل دولة من حيث مكونات النظام ومتطلبات تطويره، مع ضرورة الاستفادة من التجارب الدولية الناجحة للبناء عليها ليكون النموذج جزءاً من الممارسات العالمية. ثانياً، نشر ثقافة التقويم التطويري لدى المجتمع وبيان أثره في تحقيق أهداف التعليم على المدى البعيد. ثالثاً، اعتماد آليات حديثة للتقويم بحيث يكون شاملاً لجميع عناصر نظام التعليم، مع الأخذ بمدخل التقويم الداخلي والتقويم الخارجي لضمان جودة التعليم. رابعاً، تعزيز التقويم الفعال القائم على مبدأ تقديم التغذية الراجعة الوافية والتنوع في الأغراض والأساليب والأدوات بما يكفل الشمولية لعناصر التعليم كافة. خامساً، دعم التوجه نحو التقويم الذاتي على جميع المستويات وخاصة المدرسة لغرض التقويم المستمر. سادساً، بناء علاقة إيجابية تعاونية تشاركية بين أخصائي التقويم والممارسين في الميدان التربوي، والتزام المهنية والثقة المتبادلة. سابعاً، التأكيد على دور الاختبارات الوطنية المبنية على معايير واضحة في تطوير التعليم من خلال التغذية الراجعة المقدمة للطلاب وأولياء الأمور والمعلمين والمدارس والمجتمع. ثامناً، التركيز على التطوير المهني للمعلم في ضوء نتائج التقويم القائم على معايير واضحة وتأكيد دوره الأساسي في نجاح عمليتي التعليم والتعلم. تاسعاً، التأكيد على الشراكة الفعلية بين قطاعات المجتمع ومؤسساته وأفراده لتطوير التعليم وتبادل الخبرات وتعميم التجارب الناجحة في مجال تقويم وتطوير التعليم. عاشراً، التأكيد على أن التقويم الناجح للتعليم يصمم وفق معايير واضحة تنطلق من واقع الممارسات والأنظمة التعليمية، ويراعى حالة العاملين في الميدان التعليمي. النقطة 11: تعزيز أهمية الإطار الوطني للمؤهلات وربطه بالخطط التنموية لتنمية الموارد البشرية. كتب هذه التوصيات اللجنة العلمية والمكونة من كل من الدكتورة نجلة دريهم، الدكتورة سجا جمجوم، الدكتورة هاي العمراني، والدكتورة خلود أشقر، والتي تمت مراجعتها من قبل الدكتور صالح. شكرا لكم.
من حيث كان البدء بالشكر، نختم أيضا بالشكر للجميع. شكرا لكم لحضوركم ومشاركتكم وتفاعلكم لمؤتمر تقويم التعليم العام بالمملكة العربية السعودية، والذي كان تحت تنظيم هيئة تقويم التعليم العام، وأقيم بمدينة الرياض بمركز الملك فهد الثقافي. أيام جميلة قضيناها وإياكم في هذا المؤتمر. نتمنى أن نكون وفقنا في تقديم ما يخدم رسالة التعليم وما يخدم رسالة هذا الوطن في تحقيق التنمية والنهوض. وكذلك نتقدم بالشكر لكل العاملين والقائمين على هذا المؤتمر، والشكر موصول لضيوف هذا المؤتمر القادمين من خارج المملكة والقادمين أيضا من خارج الرياض. شكرا جزيلا لكم وشكرا لحضوركم. سيستمر اللقاء بكم بعد قليل في ورش العمل لتكون مسك الختام لأنشطة مؤتمر تقويم التعليم العام. هيئة تقويم التعليم العام ستظل باقية معكم بالتواصل عبر موقعها الإلكتروني وعبر وسائط التواصل الاجتماعية المتوفرة لكم جميعا. شكرا جزيلا، نلقاكم على خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.